Hello everyone, it's Andrew from MAO Magic, and today I have the new SurfacePad for the iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus. There are two different models in four different colors. That's black, red, brown or tan, and white. I have the red model here with me today, so we're going to go over this. This is also the 6 Plus version, which is pretty much going to be the same thing as the iPhone 6 version. And the reason why I'm specifically doing this one compared to why I had like the original SurfacePad video is there are actually a few improvements over the original one that fixed a lot of the design issues. So we're going to go over those real quick. There's one of the first ones you'll see is the credit card slots on the inside. So it's supposed to be kind of like you have Apple Pay and then your ID and like one credit card. And it's super minimal, get rid of your wallet. They also, which is maybe one of my favorite things about it, is they've added stitching to the edge. They've added stitching. If you remember the original one, there was not stitching. And it came apart, and there was rubber along this edge here. There was rubber along the edge. There was no stitching, so like the two sides came separated. They had basically a recall, but not officially a recall. And they had to replace a bunch of units. I had to return mine. It was horrible. But so far, this has been amazing. The stitching fixes pretty much all the issues that it originally had. So it's having the TwelveSouth logo on the front. You have the SurfacePad logo printed on the inside left flap, like below the credit cards here. You have the two credit card cutouts, which are very minimalistic. And kind of a little bit hard to slide the card into, but we're going to get back to that in a few minutes when we talk about that a little bit more. You also have underneath the actual phone itself, the TwelveSouth logo. Oh, you also get stickers. Don't forget the stickers. You get 12. You can put them next to the Apple logo on the back of your car. Anyway, so there's the stitching on the back, and then underneath the flap here is also the TwelveSouth logo printed or imprinted, the same as the SurfacePad logo on that left-hand side. Not anything fancy. You're probably never going to even see that, really. So how do we install this, and how does it work? So this is not a case. They say that many times. It's a cover. It's a leather jacket. It is not a case. So it's held on with adhesive. So make sure you save that, by the way. We'll get to that. Anyway, it's held on with adhesive, and it's a reusable adhesive. So it's meant to be applied and reapplied several times over. And it's fairly easy to actually put on. There's there's no tricks to it. And because it's supposed to be reusable, you can like put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off, and try again until you get this right. And the one thing that was a little bit odd is I couldn't put it on exactly centered, which kind of bugged me a little bit. Like when the corners line up on the back, you can't exactly line them up because then like the cover is like too far over. So I had to kind of like offset it by like pulling it back a little bit, because especially once it settles down, it wouldn't fit. And I'll show you what I mean in a second here. But it's basically, that's all you have to do to install it. Once you just put it on there where you want it, then just go ahead and press down all over and make sure it's nice and sealed. You don't want any bubbles or anything, or you want it kind of falling off. But I don't think it really will. So as you can see, it's not like where it should be. Like you would think it would kind of line up with that arc there, but it doesn't. I had to kind of offset it to the one side, like pull it back to the left where you can see it like overhangs. So it's definitely not centered. And the reason why is when it's closed, even with that offset, there's still like a bit of a lip. And it's kind of, it feels like it should be just a little bit more to the left there, but it's not. So I had to like offset the actual like the sticker on the back to make sure that would work. And especially as it settles, the leather softens, it's going to lay a little bit more to that right instead of kind of popping up like it is now. They also, the buttons for the volume also don't exactly match up either when you do it this way. So it's just a little bit odd. Anyway, so we have two card slots here on the inside left panel. We're not going to use credit cards because I don't want to have to deal with blurring out credit card numbers. So we're just going to use a Subway card. But basically, they're really thin, which is like good for closing the phone because it really doesn't prop it up at all. Maybe a little bit, but that's probably because of the stiffness of the leather. But it's kind of more annoying just the fact that they're so thin. Sometimes it's hard to get the card actually in. But maybe that'll loosen up over time. So also, you can use this as a stand, similar you can with a SurfacePad for iPad. It's a little bit stiff at the beginning, but it definitely weakens in, and it's much better. But it's kind of nice if you're going to watch a video. I kind of like propping it up on my desk, and it makes it really easy to kind of keep up with my phone without having to use an actual stand. So you should keep this panel here that came with that it was on there, that covering the adhesive. So if you ever remove it and want to put on a case, This is a really easy way to do it, or you can use a piece of like wax paper, but maybe just save this somewhere like in a desk drawer that you'll never remember that you have, but save it if you ever want to take it off. Lastly, let's talk about the camera. So here's the camera. Hi camera. Now I know the new camera on the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus is amazing, and a lot of you, like me, like to use the volume buttons to take photos. However, with the SurfacePad, it just covers the camera. And this is immensely annoying to me, and probably to you too. So some of this may be a deal breaker, but really when it's over like that, if you want to use the volume buttons, you have to kind of flip it over like this, which you're looking at as like a shade if you're in the sun. Otherwise, you have to turn the camera over, let it hang down below, and then just not use the volume button to take the photos. But either way, it's a little bit of a hindrance and may or may not be a deal breaker. Anyway, if you're looking to get into the SurfacePad, or if you want to check it out for yourself, you can get them usually at the Apple stores, Amazon, or TwelveSouth.com. They are $39 for the iPhone 6 model and $49 for the iPhone 6 Plus. If you have any questions, throw them up in the comments. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you all next time.